Q1. How can Kwasni's tableau économique be regarded as a forerunner of modern circular flow of income and expenditure without government? 2022. François Kwasni's tableau économique is often considered a forerunner of modern economic theory, particularly in relation to the circular flow of income and expenditure without government involvement. The tableau économique was a graphical representation of the French economy in the 18th century, which showed the interdependence of different economic sectors. Kwasny argued that agriculture was the only productive sector of the economy, and that all other economic activities, such as manufacturing and trade, were merely redistributive. The tableau économique represented the flows of goods and services between different sectors of the economy, as well as the monetary flows that facilitated these exchanges. The tableau économique showed that income generated by agriculture was the foundation of the entire economy, as it was used to purchase goods and services from other sectors. This income then flowed through the economy, creating a circular flow of income and expenditure. In modern economic theory, the circular flow of income and expenditure is also a fundamental concept. It describes the flow of money and goods between households and firms in an economy, without government intervention. The basic model consists of two sectors, households and firms. Households supply labor to firms and receive income in return, which they then spend on goods and services produced by firms. This spending by households creates revenue for firms, which they then use to pay for the factors of production, such as labor and capital. Kwasny's tableau économique can be seen as a forerunner of this modern concept because it also shows the interdependence of different economic sectors, and how income generated in one sector flows through the economy, creating a circular flow of income and expenditure. While Kwasny's theory was specific to the French economy of the 18th century and focused on agriculture as the productive sector, the basic principle of interdependence and circular flow remains relevant in modern economic theory. Q2. Enumerate the basic differences between the Keynesian and monetarist schools of thought in stimulating demand. 2022. The Keynesian and monetarist schools of thought have different views on how to stimulate demand in an economy. The basic differences between these two schools of thought are as follows. 1. Role of government. Keynesians believe that government intervention is necessary to stabilize the economy and stimulate demand during times of recession. 1. They advocate for active fiscal policy, such as increased government spending or tax cuts, to stimulate demand. 1. Monetarists, on the other hand, believe that government intervention should be minimal and that the economy will naturally self-correct over time. 1. They advocate for passive fiscal policy and instead focus on the role of monetary policy in stimulating demand. 2. Money supply. Keynesians believe that the money supply is endogenous and that it is determined by the demand for credit. 2. They argue that monetary policy can be ineffective in stimulating demand if there is already excess capacity in the economy. 2. Monetarists, on the other hand, believe that the money supply is exogenous and that it is determined by the central bank. 2. They advocate for the use of monetary policy, such as changing interest rates or increasing the money supply, to stimulate demand. 3. Time frame. Keynesians focus on the short-term effects of demand-side policies and believe that they can have an immediate impact on the economy. 3. Monetarists, on the other hand, focus on the long-term effects of policies and argue that it takes time for changes in monetary policy to have an impact on the economy. 4. Inflation. Keynesians believe that inflation is caused by excess demand in the economy and that it can be controlled through demand-side policies. 4. Monetarists, on the other hand, believe that inflation is caused by an increase in the money supply and advocate for controlling inflation through monetary policy. 5. Crowding out. Keynesians believe that government spending can crowd out private investment, as there is a limited supply of funds available for borrowing. 5. Monetarists, on the other hand, believe that crowding out is not a significant concern, as they believe that private investment will naturally increase as interest rates rise. In summary, the Keynesian and monetarist schools of thought have different views on the role of government, the money supply, the time frame for policies to take effect, the causes of inflation, and the potential for crowding out. While they share some common ground, such as the belief that demand is important for economic growth, they differ significantly in their policy prescriptions for stimulating demand. Q3. Assess and justify the analytical merits and historical relevance of mercantilist views on foreign trade. 2021. Mercantilism was an economic theory that dominated European economic thought in the 16th to the 18th centuries, and it emphasized the importance of accumulating wealth through foreign trade. Mercantilist views on foreign trade were significant in shaping economic policies during the early modern era and laid the foundation for modern economic theory. One of the main analytical merits of mercantilist views on foreign trade was its emphasis on the importance of exports. Mercantilists believed that a country should strive to have a positive balance of trade by exporting more than it imports, as this would increase its gold and silver reserves, which were seen as a sign of a nation's wealth and power. This belief in the importance of exports has influenced modern economic theory, particularly in the development of theories of comparative advantage and international trade. Mercantilism also emphasized the role of the state in promoting and regulating foreign trade. Mercantilists believed that the state should actively promote exports and restrict imports through measures such as tariffs, subsidies, and trade monopolies. This emphasis on state intervention in the economy was significant in shaping economic policy during the early modern era and influenced later economic theories such as Keynesianism. However, the mercantilist views on foreign trade have some limitations and criticisms. For example, the emphasis on accumulating gold and silver reserves overlooked the importance of other forms of wealth, such as human capital and natural resources. Mercantilists also believed in a zero-sum view of trade, where one country's gain was another country's loss, which is not consistent with modern economic theory. Additionally, the emphasis on protectionism and state intervention in the economy led to inefficient allocation of resources and hindered economic growth.